Hey everyone, welcome to another edition of the 747 update. Typically these are on Saturdays at 7:47 a.m., but we delayed this one because we had a couple things that we were wanting to test again and make sure they're ready for release. This week's going to be very busy in terms of feature development and releasing, so please make sure you clear your cache. We will try to make sure we remind you if there are specific features being pushed that require it, but definitely a good practice, especially this week, today, as well as after Feature Wednesday, to make sure you clear your cache, to make sure everything is up to date on your account. There are 4 major updates I want to go over today, and then also announce an event that we're going to be having. So let's go ahead and jump into my test account here. The first one is, let me just pull this up here, is the long-awaited Wiki page. So if we go ahead and jump into the top right-hand corner, see underneath your account, there is a Wiki page. Here you can edit this however you would like. You can add more pages by just clicking this button right here. And you can have parent tabs. So parent tabs would be underneath the existing tabs across the top of the page. They'd come across here, and you can have drop downs. So this is hopefully to remove the need for something like Google Docs or some other place where you're keeping track of all your information, SOPs, standard operating procedures for your office, services that you offer, as well as a referral list of other vendors that you might have. And to edit these, it's really easy. We made these 4 default ones for you, but you can just change these however you'd like. You can click edit, and then you can go ahead and you've all the factoring of links. You can put links in here. You can bold, highlight, format this however you want. You can pin it as a tab on the main, the top part right here, as well as you can go back in time. So if someone goes in your office and messes something up, you can literally just go back in time if you had different versions and go, someone say, hey, yesterday you deleted a whole bunch of stuff out of the account. Let's go back a day. You could easily do that by going back into your history and seeing who did that. Go back to your home tab. So these are the 4 we have in here. But again, there's a whole bunch of stuff you can just create and customize your own. Estimated availability, invoices and payments. If there's certain types of billing parameters that you might have, estimated availability is to tell your office when in-person meetings are available, for example. These are just examples of how to use Copilot, Copilot's Wiki, but there's definitely a lot more optionality. And again, if you wanted to, you could put this on the main page and pin it as a tab, and which would then allow it to show on the top right here, estimated availability. So you can make a tab on top, and then also all your pages would stack as time goes on. So super helpful for your office, creating standard operating procedures and keeping all the information of the business inside of Copilot, so you're not having to switch to other platforms or keep track of things outside of the system. The next thing, if you go to the KPI cockpit, is an update here. This is nothing huge in terms of front end looking like, but on the back end, we made a lot of changes. Our goal here is to really make these as accurate as possible. The problem with that is when extraneous data is added. So for example, there was if you had like a test account and you were throwing in addresses that were 1,000 miles away from your office, all of a sudden it would throw this service area out of whack. It would show like 2,000 miles is your radius, etc. So fixing things like that. This is our 3rd iteration of the KPI cockpit, and it's just getting better and better each time. So really happy about that. Showing your close ratio, lead response time, time to get paid, etc. More and more accurate. We'll continue to do so as time goes on, as well as cutting out any of the superfluous kind of items and services and just cutting it down to the top 5 or 6, and then giving other, if there are other services that you are doing. Because before, this could get messy if you had 20 or 30 different services, and we have an update coming in the future that's going to make it even more restrictive, so that your items and services are a drop down. It doesn't automatically create them whenever one letter is different. So that'll really help just cutting down this and making these reports more useful. Same thing with how we were tracking the back-end project revenue versus recurring revenue. That was also updated. So lots of updates on the KPI cockpit. Super important because of what we will start working on next month in November and December, and that is the 3D notifications, which uses this data to tell you what you should be doing in your business based upon the data. So also on Wednesday, another really cool update coming out for the booked out for feature, and just another step towards automated scheduling in 2024. Third thing that we worked on last week was on the dispatch board, and that is coloring the visit. So this is a little tab right here. In the past, we allowed you to color visits based upon the visit type, but now you have event type, the event color, the service. So based on what item and service it is, the crew or the employee. So whatever you want these to be in terms of coloring, you can absolutely make that a reality. So let me just go to a day on my test account here last week. So right now, these are all the same color because I have them still based upon what type of visit type they are. But if I wanted to, I could do it based on employees that were assigned to the jobs, or make it however I wanted in terms of coloring on the dispatch board. And then as soon as I select any visits right here, and I might select these here, it would show me a key or a legend of what these colors are. You can see they're all the exact same. But if you ever wanted to have employees, for example, you would show the legend, the different colors for each employee, so you could quickly identify them on the dispatch board map. Last thing we did wasn't super visible here on the main desktop page, but up here in the top right-hand corner, this notifications button that is on the desktop version is now available in the top left-hand corner of the mobile app. So even if you're out in the field operating as an owner-operator and maybe not in the office as often, this button that shows when estimates are accepted, invoices are paid, etc., is now visible and accessible from the mobile app and operates exactly the same way in terms of these notifications. The last thing I want to say is in October, we are going to have what we call Bug Fest. It's going to be our very first Bug Fest. We will likely do these every few months. And our goal is that by then, we get as close to bug zero as possible without having a bug-free system. At that time, we're going to have a live event where all of our members come together, and we're basically going to live report bugs. And there's going to be prizes. And we just really appreciate everyone that helped us build the software, refine it, make it better. And so over the next 3 to 4 weeks, our goal is to get all the reported bugs completed, but then have an event where all of us as members can report them live, and there'll be some cool giveaways and prizes for those that are attending. And we just want to say thank you to those that are actively doing that and making Copilot a better product every single day. And we appreciate all of you very, very much. Look forward to seeing at Landscape Summit as well in person. And that event is co-sponsored by Copilot, and looking forward to meeting all of our members in person. Take care, guys.